Hey, hi everyone. Good morning, good evening, from whichever location you're watching this session. So, thank you very, very much for coming to this session. And let me know that, I'm audible or not. Let's see. Let me see the chat. Yes, yes. Good evening, everyone. Yes. So, yes, yes. Great, great. Thank you, Ashish. I'm audible. Yes. So, let's wait for 1 minute more, 2 minutes, and let's start. Let everyone join in. So it's just 4 p.m. now, Indian time. So let's wait for 2 minutes, then we will start with our, session. Yeah. So it's already 4:41. So let's start the session. So again, those who have joined newly over here to the session, thank you very much. Thank you very much taking your time and coming to the session. And definitely, it's a trainer promise. So let me just start my video first. So there you go. Okay. So hi, good evening, everyone. Yes, myself Gurunatha, and definitely it's a trainer promise that, after this 14 hours of this ADF course, because our ADF course is completely structured, till 14 hours. Okay. So in the 14 days of this course, if you sit, if you watch all the sessions, definitely it's a trainer promise that you will become a confident ADF professional. Yes. So and you can highlight this ADF in your resume also. Okay, because it's a cloud-based technology. You can highlight this ADF technology in your resume, and definitely it will help. It will add lots of value in your resume, and it will also help in your salary appreciation also. So it's a trainer promise that after this 14 hours of this course, you will become a confident ADF professional. Myself, I'm a passionate programmer. I do lots of coding. I've created lots of websites. I've created lots of mobile applications using Dart and Flutter. But apart from this, I love doing, data technologies. Like for example, MSBI. Okay, we have MSBI, we have Power BI, we have Tableau, we have SQL. We have Azure Data Factory. I love doing this data technologies. So why I love this technologies, because it gives a great opportunity, whether to enter into the IT market, whether you are not related with the IT market, whether you are from non-IT background, but if you want to migrate yourself to the IT background, this is a great opportunity, because this data technology gives you that path, to enter into the IT market. So and also this course is helpful for those also. Yes, it is also helpful for .NET developers also. Yes, but those who are not related to programming, for them also it is very helpful actually. Programmers can do, if they want to migrate from programming to this data technology, yes, they can do very easily. But those who are not related to programming, those who don't like programming, for them also this data technologies opens, wide options to enter into the IT market. Okay. I am teaching this data technology since 2012, and I love teaching this data technologies. I love doing data technologies, and believe me, I have trained many students, including IT professional, including non-IT professionals, and everyone are happier, means everyone, by creating charts, doing visualization, doing data transformation, they all are happy and they all are getting decent salary package and they all are into, good MNCs. Yes. So that is the benefit of, the data technologies. Yes, definitely. I take trainings for Power BI and SQL also. Yes, definitely. But I'm just telling the, how exactly it works, means what is the benefit of, knowing the data technologies. If you know the programming, many people don't like doing programming, but if they don't know the programming, but still they can enter into the IT market, they can work in a big MNCs and they can have, a good salary package. Whether you are from IT field, whether you are from non-IT background, like you're from, let's say, sales background, accounts background, hotel management background, hardware background, it's a great opportunity to enter into the data field by knowing the data technologies. Now coming to this 2025, okay, 2025, everyone knows it's all about AI technologies, AI age, and AI means, using the LLM models like, DeepSeek, ChatGPT, OpenAI, Google Gemini, but so what this LLM models do, they generate lots of data. Okay. So when they generate lots of data, what happens, so definitely a company needs someone to manage this data, to clean up this data. What I will do, let me just share my screen first over here. So yes, so let me just share my screen. So let me explain, exactly what I'm talking about. So there you go. Now this 2025, it's all about AI technologies, right? So AI means, again, using LLM model. What this LLM model do? It generates lots of data. Now, definitely when we have lots of data, company needs a data analyst, a data guys, who can manage the data, who can clean the data, who can do the deep analysis, right? Or I can say who knows how to create the intelligent reports, right? So definitely, if more the data is there, definitely there will be more data jobs in the market. So because of this AI, what will happen coming years? Definitely, till here also, we have lots of data jobs in the market, but definitely due to this AI, from 25, coming years, definitely there will be more data jobs. That's the guarantee, that's the guarantee. So because of this, data jobs, there will be lots of data jobs. Now, what is the role of, the data analyst? Let's understand this first. So one second. So now let's understand the role of data analyst. So companies need, data guys, to manage the data, to create the intelligent information from the data, to transform the data, to remove the erroneous data. All this, activity, this data analysts do, So let's understand what happens. So first, the role of data guys, what happens? The data comes in CSV format. Data might come in, SQL format. Data might come in, let's say, Excel format. Okay. So what happens? Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. So now so first job is to definitely extract the data. E stand for extraction, then the transformation, finally loading. Okay. We can also say like this: extraction, then the loading, then the transformation. Either way. Okay. So in order to do the extraction, transformation, loading, okay, we have the ETL tools. We have offline ETL tools also. We have online ETL tools also. Like offline ETL tools, definitely we have MSBI, again related to Microsoft. We have Talent, Informatica, all this, ETL tools are there. But very specific, to Microsoft technology, MSBI is over here. MSBI help us to do the extraction of the data, transformation of the data, and the loading of the data. If you follow this ELT approach, that is extraction, transformation, I'm sorry, extraction, loading, and transformation. So this approach is also available, but it is available at the cloud level. Cloud level means again ADF level. Yes. So what happens, after you do the extraction and transformation and loading? So what happens, So definitely you load the data into the data warehouse, right? Data warehouse. And definitely this data warehouse can be your data lake also. It can be your SQL. It can be your big data, it can be data bricks also. You load the data into the data warehouse. After that, you can apply some analyticals. Okay. So in MSBI, by using the SSAS, you can do that. Yes. But there are some analyticals also. You can do that. After that, you can create the reports. The reports by using the Tableau or Power BI. Okay. So yes. So this is what the role of data analyst. Now you must be thinking, what is the difference between, ETL and ELT? Okay. So let me come over here. So 1 second. Yes, the mouse. So let's understand the ETL and ELT first. Okay. Also, we will understand this one. So yes, again, E stands for extraction, T stands for transformation, and L stands for loading. Okay. ETL is widely used in the offline mode and ELT used in the cloud-based mode. Okay. So definitely when ETL versus ELT. If you're using an offline ETL tool, MSBI, so you can follow this, ETL approach. If you're using ADF, you can follow, ELT approach. So what happens? First, you extract the data, then you transform the data, then finally you load the data into the data warehouse. This is what the MSBI do. But ADF guys, what they can do, they can extract the data, they can load the data into the data lake, and then finally they can do the transformation. Transformation is like removing the erroneous data, bad data, everything, they can do it in the transformation. Okay. Yes. Now, what is the benefit what is the benefit of using this ELT approach, I will say, or ETL approach? So definitely in the ETL, you require, a physical machine because it's a offline tool. So it requires physical machine, your system, your laptop, it requires. Whereas if we talk about ELT approach, definitely it's a cloud-based system. So here you don't need to worry about, physical hardware and everything. Cloud will take care of everything. So definitely this is what the difference is. I'm just talking about between the ETL and versus ELT approach. The second one, if we talk about ETL, so definitely here, this is a slow process, I will say, compared to ELT approach. Why slow process? Because here the transformation happens before the data loading. Okay, so you can see that. So hence it's a slow process compared to ELT approach. Okay, third one, if we talk about this, if we talk about the security wise, again, in the ETL, you have to manage your own security. You have to take care of your security. You have to install, this antivirus. You have to take care of your data, data. You have to take care of your data. That's it. So here, headache is on you only. Okay. But in the ELT approach, what happens? Because it's a cloud based, so all the security measures has been handled in the cloud based technology only. Okay. Now, fourth one, the difference between ETL is the definitely the speed. Speed wise, definitely the ELT is much fast. ELT is much faster than ETL, and ETL is suitable for structured data. Our ETL is suitable for structured data. Structured data, like the data which is having rows and columns, right? Rows and columns. Sorry for my handwriting. So ETL is suitable for structured data, whereas ELT is suitable for non-structured data, unstructured data, I will say, unstructured data, semi-structured data. One second. Yes. Yeah. So here, let me write it again. Unstructured data, semi-structured data, and structured data. Yes. Now you guys must be wondering what is this unstructured data? Unstructured data can be your, image files, Word file, video file, and so on. Semi-structured data can be your emails, JSON file, CSV file, structured data. Definitely the data is related to relational data types, right? So this is what the difference. So if we talk about this one, MSBI offline ETL tools are always follow the ETL approach, whereas the cloud-based technologies follows the ELT approach. And both are same, just that, both does the same job, just that, there is a difference between the transformation and the loading. That's it. Okay. So yes, now this is what the role of a data analyst, first to extract the data, then to transform the data. Transformation, we have wide range of activities, wide range of tools to transform the data, to remove the erroneous data, bad data, finally load the data. Now, let me just, yes. Now what happens? No, this is what the role of the data analyst. Okay. Now suppose if you do all those things, what happens? So definitely let's understand with the AI perspective. If you know all those things, if you know ADF, if you know Power BI, so what happens? So definitely it will add lot of value in your salary. So let me just show you what I will do. Let's go over here. Let's run the prompt. I have created one prompt for the Indian market. You can see over here. So we are just seeing, what type of salaries we can get. So, I've just created the prompt. Let's come over here and let's ask Gemini. So if I know all these technologies, if I am a proper data analyst, so what salary I can get? So here you can see that, so, entry level salary, you can get, very good, decent amount, mid level, you can see that. If you are senior, you can see. So as you can see that by knowing these technologies, you can easily get, this salary. So after this, definitely there is a data scientist roles also there, where we do more predictive, where we create more predictive models, we do more deeper analysis, we use machine learning things, by using Python and R and everything, but that is there. But if you know just MSBI, Power BI, if you know Azure Data Factory, if you know proper SQL, because SQL is the base for this, data related jobs. If you know SQL, if you know MSBI, Power BI, ADF, that's it. You can enter into this levels very easily. You can see that. And as I told you, AI is definitely over here. AI is a revolutionary. Okay. So because of this AI, lots of data job market is going to create, today and coming years also. So you can expect, this levels of salaries. i- if you know, if you mention, if you have the data skills. Okay. So as you can see that. So this is the reason, I love, data technologies. I love teaching data technologies. And whether you are IT professional, whether you are non-IT professional, you can easily enter into this different salary bands depending on your experience level. Yes. So now that you are understood everything about this, now let's go and understand about the ADF thing. Okay. So yes, let me again take up my, pad. How to learn ADF. ADF stands for Azure Data Factory. So I will give you the exact step, that will make you easy, to learn Azure Data Factory. That will make you go from zero to hero in Azure Data Factory. So step number one, understand the fundamentals. Understanding the fundamentals. Okay. So, yeah. S- So suppose if you have strong, so if you understanding the fundamentals are very important, because this fundamentals will give you the strong understanding of the Azure portal. If you know the fundamentals strong, it means you know the complete Azure portal. You know what is this pay as you go model work. you know you will come to know what is EAS, PIAS, CIAS, how this, rental based model works, how this cloud architecture is divided as per regions, areas, zones, etc. So this is the step number one. So before knowing the ADF, I must say as a trainer, you should know the fundamental. You should have a strong knowledge of the fundamentals. Okay. Step number two, understanding the four cores. So which are those four cores? Definitely link services. Second one, the data set. Third one, activity. Fourth one is the pipeline. Everything in ADF is built on this four cores only. Yes. So link services you can think as a as a keys to your data sources. They act like your connection string. So here I will say connection strings. Data set, they are the pointers. They act like a pointers and they tell ADF exactly where your data is located, whether it is located in a specific file or specific table. Yes. Activity. Activity means these are the actions you perform. You perform, like for example, running the script, copy data activity, transforming the data, everything comes under the activity. Again, now the pipeline. This is the workflow. Okay. This is the logical sequence of the activity that you perform to accomplish to complete your work. Basically, this is the logical sequence of the activity. So here you can say logical sequence of activity. This is like a workflow. Okay. Yes. So now, as you can see that in order to learn ADF, first we need to understand the fundamentals. After knowing the fundamentals, we need to understand the four cores. Everything in ADF is built on this four cores. Now, step number 3, building a copy data pipeline. O- Okay, so now building the so here the mission is very simple. Moving a CSV file. Once again, CSV file from blob storage container, Azure blob storage container to another one. So what happens by doing this activity? So this activity will help us you to know like how to configure those four cores. That is the link services, data set, activities, and the pipeline. Yes. So after creating this step number 3, we can jump to the step number 4. So in the step number 4, it's like, mastering with the data flow. Yes. Suppose you got the CSV file and in that CSV file, you got some erroneous data, bad data. If you want to remove those erroneous data, bad data, we can remove it only in the data flow transformation. If you got two data sources, okay, and if you want to join the two data sources, we can do it by using the join transformation. If you want to filter out some records from the CSV file, we can filter it out by using the filter transformation. If you want to divide the data, let's suppose there is a customer's data and the customer is having some tag, let's say gold customer, silver customer, if you want to divide, if you want to put the condition, and if you want to divide those data, yes, we can do that by using the conditional split transformation. So mastering the data flow is very important. This is the step number 4 after your copy data pipeline activity. Once you know how to configure those four cores, now it's time to understand the or master the data flow. This is my step number 4. Step number 5, level up with the control flow. So how do I put it? Suppose if your data flow is the kitchen, then the control flow will be your brain for your entire factory. Okay. So let's suppose you got the CSV file. Let's suppose you got the 100 CSV file for the same activity. Okay. In order, instead of running, if you level up, if you master your control flow, then instead of running this activity 100 times for each CSV file, you run it for once Okay, and you can achieve those that, and then how do I say, then you can achieve it, those output, you know very easily. So by using the for each loop, by using the for each loop activity, you can run the CSV file just once. That's it, instead of running 100 times for each CSV file. Okay, so this is how you can learn. You can see we have got 5 steps. So summarizing those 5 steps: simple foundation, fundamentals, knowing the fundamentals. Let me write over here: fundamentals, knowing the fundamentals, pipeline, data flows, and the control flow. This is the roadmap, to learn the Azure Data Factory. Okay, and yes, any doubt over here? So if you have any doubt, any queries, let me know. You know, you can let me know in the chat. Definitely I will try to answer those doubts and queries. Okay. Yes. And if you see my course also, let me come over here. If you see my course curriculum also, it is designed as per the steps only. Because at the start, we are going to cover the fundamentals. You can see that we'll start with OPEX model, CAPEX model, everything. Then we will cover the how to create the virtual machines in the tomorrow's sessions. Tomorrow's session we will see, how to create the virtual machine, private cloud, hybrid cloud, everything. Then day 3, day 4, all this day till day 14, you can see that. So all these 14 days are structured as per these steps, fundamentals, pipeline, data flow, control flow. This is how we will be learning, Azure Data Factory. Okay. So now let's start, understanding the important concept, that is the cloud computing. How to learn? So let me just take up, understand what is cloud computing. Guys, if you got any doubts or any queries, please put on the chat, your doubts and queries. Definitely I will try to answer those questions. Okay. So what is cloud computing? Okay, so let's understand with a diagram. Cloud computing. If you are using Gmail, if you are using Google Drive, if you are using this OneDrive, if you are using Netflix, if you are using Amazon, it means that your data is already there on the cloud and you are already using the cloud services, right? Okay, are you getting it? If you are using Google Drive, Google Photos, Amazon Prime, it means you're already a cloud user. Your data is already there on the cloud. So cloud computing is the delivery of the computing services. Computing services like, servers, servers, we have softwares, we have storages, we have databases, we have machine learning also, we have analytics also. So so cloud computing is a delivery of the computing services, of all the servers, databases, and all those things. So it enables so a user, best to understand the cloud computing, a user sitting at home, just by using the internet, they can explore the cloud features. Like for example, databases, they can create the virtual machines, uh, they can uh, they can host a website, you know just by sitting at home, by using the normal laptop. you know they can create the he can create the virtual machine, he can host a website, he can do the data factory thing, everything, by just using the internet. So so cloud computing, it's all about delivering of the computing services, whatever we have just spoken. And you can consume all the services, you can use all the services just on the over the internet. Yes. Okay. Now, definitely, it enables the users and businesses to use the hardware and software resources without needing to own any physical infrastructure locally. Okay. So so what does it means, what does it line means, it enables the users and businesses to use the hardware and software resources on demand without needing to manage it physically infrastructure locally. So for example, think that there is a business and they have got 10 employees, 10 users. Okay. Now, all the users are, let's suppose, using, let's say, user one, user two, user three, user four, all they are using, let's say, having the normal laptop configuration. Suddenly, this business has got a project of video editing. Okay, video editing project is got. Now, everyone knows that to edit a video, it require a good hardware, good machine. Okay. But this project has came just for 45 days only. In 45 days we have to complete. Now just for 45 days, now this business guy, a boss, will purchase high end configuration laptop. you know so that will be a lost decision. That will be a very bad decision if he is going to purchase just for 45 days a good configuration machine. What he can do, he can go on to the cloud, and definitely he can create the virtual machines. Okay. High-end virtual machine configuration, and they can do the video editing for 45 days, they can deliver the project, and that's it. So what happened over here, so you have used the services, use the cloud services, you have used the cloud service machine for 45 days, you did your work, and that's it. You you paid the bill for 45 days. That's it. After that, you come back to your own local machines, right? So this is what happens, a user sitting at using the internet from his laptop connected to VM machine. There he did the video editing part, and he delivered the project. That's it. Now this machine was there for 45 days. He paid the bill for 45 days as a service, and that's it. Again, he came back to the normal laptop. That's it. So this is what the meaning, it enables the users, and businesses to use the hardware and software resources on demand. On demand means because there was a demand of a video editing job. So on demand, you have used those resources, those facilities of high-end configuration, and that's it. Okay. So you no need to manage, or you no need to own your, physical infrastructure. Yes. Okay. Yes. This is what the benefit of doing the cloud computing. Yes. Now let's understand the types of cloud providers available in the market. Types of cloud providers. So definitely everyone knows, I think. So we have Azure, we have AWS, we have Alibaba, we have fourth one. It's like GCP, Google Cloud Provider. All these are cloud providers available, in the market. So definitely all of them provide, very common services, common services means they provide, pay as you go model service. Okay. Pay as you go model service. Yes. So these are the types of cloud providers. Now, which one to choose? Definitely, total depends on you. So which technology you are related. If you are more related to .NET, C Sharp, if you are using Visual Studio Code, if you are using Microsoft products, more if you are more into Power BI, MSBI, definitely you have to use Azure over there. Okay. Yes, if you're more related to Microsoft thing, you can use Azure. If you're not, you can use AWS also. Both are gives you the similar kind of facilities. But in terms of UI, personally, I will say Azure is lot more clean and user-friendly UI compared to AWS. AWS is, a bit difficult to understand at the start. Okay. Uh, Alibaba again, many users uses many European country people uses this Alibaba. GCP, Google Cloud, again it is also there. Many of them uses, but if the job market, if you see, it is revolves around Azure and AWS only. I will say 52% to Azure and 48% maybe to AWS. Maybe I'm wrong also, but both are 50-50. If you know Azure, if you know Azure, you will get that same amount of salary package. If you know AWS also, there also you will get the same amount of salary package. Now, why Azure? Why cloud? Why AWS? Why we are talking about this cloud thing? Okay, it's simply because you know the reason number one, scalability. Reason number two, self-service. Reason number three, pay as you pay as you go model. Okay. Now, scalability. In order to understand the scalability, this cloud, whether you choose Azure, whether you choose AWS, but all these cloud providers provide you scalability, self-service, self-service, and pay as you go model. So what is the scalability? Okay. Let's understand over here. Suppose, how do I put it? Suppose let's go and create the virtual machine first. Suppose, okay, so the best example we can understand, suppose you have the website, okay, and you have hosted a website, okay, in the cloud, and suddenly, and then suddenly, traffic has got increased, okay. You did some ad campaign, you did some digital marketing. Because of this digital marketing, suppose you got the increase in your traffic. So suddenly what happens, definitely you need some kind of a mechanism that automatic scaling should happen. So this is what the cloud gives you. I just wanted to show you, like, we have, if you go to the virtual machine, we have something called as virtual machine scale set. If I click over here, let me click it. Yes, it's opening up. And yes, in our day two, we will understand how to create the virtual machines. Don't worry, just for to understanding the scalability, I'm showing this demo. Don't worry, we will go step by step. tomorrow we will go step by step and understand how we can create the virtual machine practically. Okay, but for just demo purpose, just see how I am doing it over here. So let me go into the auto scaling and let me go into the configure. So as I told you, you got the website, you did some ad campaign, you did some digital marketing, Facebook marketing, Google ad marketing, and suddenly your traffic you expecting that your traffic will increase. So suddenly your traffic has increased from 1,000 visitors to the 10,000 visitors. So when your CPU usage increases, automatically this cloud-based thing, what it will do, automatically it will do the auto scaling thing. You can see that. So it will increase if your CPU threshold is greater than 80%. If your CPU usage increases more than 80%, then it will increase one more CPU automatically. You can say that. This is what the auto scaling. Okay. But now if we go to, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I just clicked out. But if we go to some other providers which are available in the market, let's say we have, Nitty-Gritty here, we have GoDaddy here. Disclaimer, okay, this is just for comparison purposes. This is just for information purposes. I'm not against, we are not against with GoDaddy, okay? Just a disclaimer. So if you go to the hosting, if I go to the web hosting, if I go to the virtual private server, if I go to the, this one, high performance, you can see that here we have to select the machine upfront only. Upfront means, yes, you can see over here. So here you can see that we have to select the machine upfront only. Means, you have to decide, y- you your as just 1 second. Yes. So here you have to be, prejudge only, like, for 10,000 users, we have to use this machine. For 20,000 users, we have to use this machine. For 5,000 users, we have to this machine. You have to be predictable, before, before choosing a machine, right? So here suddenly you did the ad campaign, suddenly you did some Google Ads things and everything. And if your traffic got increases, let you were expecting 5,000, but suddenly your traffic got increased to 15,000. Definitely what will happen? This system will fail because it is having only two cores, it is having only 4 GB RAM. So this system will fail. So if the system will fail, what happens? Your website will come down. Okay, if your website will come down, then the objective of running the ad will, everything will get fail. What we have to do, then you have to write a mail to the GoDaddy, tell them, you have to request them, no, I just increase to 4 CPU, 8 GB RAM, make it 8 GB RAM. So they will take some time, they will take some 1 hour, 2 hour, then again they will set up this server for you. And suddenly, and your ad campaign is suddenly stopped now. Okay, ad campaign is suddenly stopped. Now again, definitely what you are doing, you're paying this much amount, but your visitor count again came back to the normal one, but you're paying this much amount still. Okay, so this is what the difference is. Here you cannot do any kind of a scalability, but here in Azure, yes, you can do that. If we go to the virtual machines, let me just show you again. So this is what the biggest benefit. So let's go over here, virtual machine set. And yes. So if we go to the auto scaling, if we go over here, so you can see that, once your traffic got in, if your CPU usage increases, it will increase the CPU automatically. If your CPU usage is comes down to 20%, automatically it will decrease that count. So CPU will add, as your traffic increases, CPU will decrease as your traffic decreases. But here, every time manually you have to mail them, you have to tell them, no, I want this CPU, I don't want this CPU, everything you have to do. So here you have to inform them and you have to do it. But here's self-service. This is what, this is what it means. Self-service auto scalability will happen, right? This is what the scalability means. This is the biggest benefit of using the any cloud, I will say. Self-service means, definitely if you go to Azure portal over here, and you can see that everything you can do it by your own. If you want virtual machine, you can create the virtual machine. If you want app services, if you want to host a website, you can do it by yourself. You can see that if you want to do the data factory, you can do it by yourself. If you want SQL database, you can do it yourself. You can create it, you can do it, you can have the data and everything. You can publish, you can host the website, everything you can do it by on your own. You can connect to the n number of services over here by your own. This is what the self-services mean. We have something called as pay-as-you-go model. So what is this pay-as-you-go model? Pay-as-you-go model means it's a rental model. Whatever service you have consumed, whatever services you are using, you have to pay for that purpose only. If you see, we have talked about this, uh, this example of business, where, because of the video editing job, the business guy has paid the money, the rental money for 45 days only to the cloud. That's it. You know, so this is what, pay as you go model works. Okay. Yes. Now let's go and understand how we can go and create the Azure account. Okay. So in order to go and create the Azure account, we can go to the Google. You can simply type Azure, and they have something called as, Azure account. Azure account for students is also available. If you are a student, you can opt for this also. But since we are not students, so I'm going to opt this one option. So, I'm just showing you the steps, how you can go and create the Azure account. Okay. So we have something called as Azure for free, pay as you go. If you are already made up your mind, if you are already decided that you are going to use the Azure services, you're going to host your website in the Azure only. If before using the services, without knowing the services, if you're planning, that no, I just want to go with Azure and everything, you can choose this option. Okay. But if you want to do the testing purpose, if you want to see the services, if you want to explore the Azure, if you want to learn Azure, then you can try Azure for free. So what happens with this account? You will get the 2000 USD amount for 1 month. You can say that for 30 days. And this 1 month is more than enough, believe me, to learn Azure Data Factory. Yes, you will get all the services. You can see that first month you will get all the services. You will get this 200 USD also. Okay, no upfront commitment. You can cancel anytime. Okay, and whatever you have used the resources, that only it will get deduct from this $200. First month I'm saying. Okay. After that, let's suppose you have not completed learning your ADF thing, but still you need one more 1 month or 2 months. It's completely fine because it will hardly take up like 200-300 rupees only. if we talk about Indian rupees. Okay. So that's what, if let me just show you the bills, hardly it will cost you, not more than that. We are using this, this account, left and right, and you can see our bill, just got, this much only. And we are using it, left and right. Let me tell you, okay? Means left and right means for all the training purposes, we are using this account only, but still we got this much billed only. Okay. You can see the current cost also. You can see the last billed amount also. Okay. So for you, I believe, it will not go more than 300 or 400 rupees. If you're using after 30 days also, if you're continuing using after 30 days also. So 2, 3 months, if you use, it will hardly go, I think, 1,000 rupees only. Okay. Now, if you want to go and see the calculator also, you can do the calculation also as your price calculation. You can go to the price calculation also. You can do the calculation as per the products, as per the services. Okay, so if you're using virtual machines and everything, it will go much more, that I will show you tomorrow's class. But if you use Data Factory, let's say Data Factory. So here you can calculate your estimations. Now this activity for 1,000 run. If you run this activity 1,000 times, then only $1 will get charged. You can say that. For execution, data integration, execution, movements of the data, it is charging like 0.25 per hour. Okay, not like you ran it data integration for 1 second, 2 second, you will get this much charge. No, 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 it is not like that. For 1 hour, if you did the data integration, it will charge 0.25. Pipeline, execution, if you do it for hours, you will get this much charged. No, so as I told you, you will get charged very less, if you use after 30 days also. It will go, I think, 300 or 400. Okay. So don't worry, use it, create the account. Creation of account is very simple. Just you have to click on this button. You have to give the Outlook account, you know, you have to use Outlook account. You can use, Hotmail account also. Follow the basic steps are there. And give your credit card. Don't worry, you won't be charged. As you can see that, we have I've given my credit card, so you can also give your credit card. It won't charge you till $200. It won't charge you, you know and after that also, if you're not using any resources, you know it won't charge anything. Okay, so don't worry, go ahead. For learning purposes, you can use it for 1 month, and after that also, you can use it, but it won't charge that much. If you use any virtual machines, if you're continuously using virtual machine, if you're using some networking, if you're using any hardware thing, then it will charge more. But if you're using, platform things, like for example, Data Factory for SQL database, it won't charge that much. Okay. So you can learn it for 2, 3 months, and definitely you can, after that you can close it. Yes. So, yes. So any doubts? Let me check the doubts over here. So questions. Yes, definitely. I love teaching data technologies. Definitely, I will teach Power BI and SQL after this. After this ADF class. This ADF class will go for 14 days. 14 hours of this course, and I have shown what I'm going to cover over here, right? So yes, all the course curriculum is over here, and everything will be practical based only, no PPT. I don't like PPT. So definitely I will teach everything, all the topics in a practical way only. Okay. Yes. So I'm so sorry about my voice, I've not seen. So activity means, the actions you perform. S- so there is one question to explain the activity again. So activity means to actions you perform, like for example, running the scripts, uh, copy data activity, we will come into the detail, once we are into the Azure Data Factory. That time I will explain again, this link services data set, activity, and this pipelines thing. Don't worry about that, okay? But yes, activity is more like actions we perform, okay? Okay, so there is one question: what kind of skills required before, reading the Azure Data Factory? You should know SQL. SQL is must, okay? When we talk about data transformation, SQL is right there on the top. You know, you should know writing the basic SQL queries like select, insert, update, delete. You should know the joins, inner join, left join, right join. If you know all this basic queries, it's more than enough to learn ADF, Azure Data Factory. Along with this, if you know any offline tool, MSBI, that will be great, because it will make you easy, learning Azure Data Factory. But don't worry, on day 4, if you see over here, we are covering a offline ETL tool, that is MSBI. We will see a real-time example of MSBI, how this extraction, transformation, loading works. So don't worry, on day 4, definitely we are covering an offline ETL tool. Okay. So yes. Yes, we can write the plain. Can we write the plain SQL to fetch the data from the same source? Yes, we can do that, you know. So right now, we are at the starting stage. So I will explain, as our course progresses. I will answer this question as our course progresses with the example. Okay. I have given that, 100 CSV example just to understand, how the control flow works, So whether you run it for one time, more time, 100 times, just for example purpose, I have given that. But yeah, data has to be the same way, same format wise. Yes. Will there be SQL to blob storage and blob to Databricks? Yes, yes. We will have those examples. Yes. In our coming classes, in our coming days, we will see the example how to do this, copy activity from SQL to blob storage and blob to Databricks. Yes, we will do that example also. Yes. More complex examples also we are going to cover in this course, we like, for example, you can see over here with parameters also, without parameters also. We will, we will use triggers also. We will use conditional loops. You can see that we will use data flow transformation. we will use complex example. We will see some real time example as we move into the Azure Data Factory. First, our core objective is to understand the fundamentals. Once we know the fundamentals of cloud and cloud technologies, about the Azure portal, after that we will just concentrate on Azure Data Factory, building the copy data pipelines, and, all those things, examples, everything. Yes, we are going to cover, after this fundamental session. Fundamentals are very important because without knowing the fundamentals, we cannot go and start the Azure Data Factory directly. Okay, like for example, today we understood, like, what is this, pay as you go model, how this, scalability, what is the benefit of using the cloud, how the scalability happens. uh, all these questions will ask you in the interview. They won't ask you only about the Azure Data Factory. They will ask you all this, what is this pay as you go model, uh, how this cloud is useful, what is ESPSCS, how this cloud architecture is divided, all these questions interviewer will ask you. So hence, our course is designed in such a way that, we cover the fundamentals, we make our base strong, then after that we enter into the Azure Data Factory. So Azure Data Factory will be completely hands-on practical, don't worry. Yes. So yes. S- For the day 4, definitely the environment setup, everything we are going to do. Yes. So there is one question, do I need to install anything on day 4? You know, I'm using the MacBook, not able to install Microsoft software. No need to install anything. Don't worry, because it's a cloud platform. So via the internet, you can connect to the Azure portal, and there we will do some setups, which is required for the Azure Data Factory. You can see that we have some Azure environment setup there. We will do online. For offline MSPI, you can just watch the demo, because we are going to cover on the day 4 a small offline ETL tool example. Just watch that example. So what happens, you will come to know, before we jump into ADF, a cloud-based ETL tool, we will see how this offline ETL tool works, So just for reference purpose, just for information purpose, you can see this example, and that's it. Okay. After that, we will do all the setup at the cloud level only. OPEX model, CAPEX model. What is OPEX? OPEX, very good question. What is OPEX and CAPEX? You know, so let me explain you this over here. OPEX versus CAPEX. You know, Azure, AWS, all the cloud services are OPEX based. CAPEX based, like we just saw the GoDaddy. For comparison purposes, GoDaddy is a CAPEX based model. OPEX based model is like a rental based model. CAPEX based model means it's like a upfront investment. So for example, owning a car, owning a car is a CAPEX based model. Renting a car is a OPEX based model. Like for example, you rented the car, you travel certain distance, and that's it. You paid the money for that distance. That is the OPEX based model. So here also in the Azure also, you have used the virtual machine for 10 days. You paid the money for the virtual machine, whatever amount or resources you have used for 10 days. That's it. That is the OPEX based model. CAPEX based model means upfront we are buying the server, assuming that we are getting the 10,000 visitors. We are buying the server for month, for a year. We are paying the money upfront, for that server via the GoDaddy, via the Netigrity, via the Bluehost, via the railways, whatever provider we are selected. But when you're paying money for the infrastructure upfront, that is more of a CAPEX based model. Okay. I hope that answers to your question. Yes. Okay. So, yes. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Patel. Yes. So, yes, I think that's all the questions we have covered. So guys, tomorrow again, what we will do, let's connect same time, and tomorrow we will see, how to create the virtual machine. Okay. We will also understand about this ESPS CS model, so today we have not got the time to cover this, but tomorrow I'm going to cover this, what is ESPS, and definitely we will create the virtual machine. We will also understand tomorrow about the private, public, and hybrid cloud. Okay, we will also understand how this cloud architecture is divided as per regions, areas, and zones. We will also talk about availability zones. So tomorrow's agenda of me, to cover this topic. Okay. So let's meet tomorrow, same time. And it's a trainer promise, after this 14 hours of this course, you will become a confident ADF professional. So thank you very much for your valuable time. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes. So let's meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.